What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a breakdown of the upcoming Pirate Alliance KIZUNA clash. This is not a super boss KIZUNA, so luckily you don't have to build teams for, the 2 to 3 additional bosses. It's just the base 10-star difficulty KIZUNA clash. And in this KIZUNA clash, you're going to be able to get your hands on the Super Evolution skulls for Sanji and Pudding, which of course you can achieve free to play by playing the latest Pirate Rumble season. So definitely worth picking up because the character is likely going to be useful in future treasure maps or future events, so make sure to keep it on the back burner. So let's go ahead and jump into each individual crew for each of these fights, and I'll show you guys just some teams that I've got prepped. I'm not 100% sure exactly what I'll be running, but I'll probably be running something similar to what you see in this video today. So let's jump into our first boss fight, which is versus the Psy variation. Now, just a little bit of note as well is that all the teams in this video are ideally using the new friend captain of Shaka, the recently released KIZUNA Clash Legend, mainly because it does give you additional tickets, which makes it easier to achieve all of the rewards in the KIZUNA exchange. So with that in mind, you predominantly want to be building via the Cerebral class in this event, despite all of the, cooldowns of whatever classes are given in each of these fights. The Cerebral class is more ideal to build for, not only just because Shaka is Cerebral focused, but on the final boss fight, all of the bosses in this KIZUNA have a weakness class to Cerebral, meaning that they take double damage from Cerebral units. So it means that dealing damage in this event is so much easier when you have Cerebral units, because you get double damage for the weakness class, and you also get double damage if you have super effective damage. So very important that you're building around that. Obviously, if you don't have the right units, it is what it is. You can build whatever you want, but you will do more damage if you have Cerebral focused characters. So the way that this works, of course, as I said, we're going to be using the friend captain of the Shaka character. Now, on stage number 2, in this one, there's going to be 6 turns of damage threshold, and there's going to be 1 turn of special reverse. This is where Robin and Jinbei can deal with all of that. Uta is going to be really nice too. We can use Uta on stage 1, and we'll get attack and all boost stage 1, we'll get attack and all boost stage 2, and we'll also get attack and all boost on stage 3, thanks to the turn progress activated effect. Really, really broken mechanic. And then on stage 3, we are going to go ahead and use the special ability of Queen, which will remove 7 turns of defense up, 7 turns of damage threshold, which is exactly what occurs on the final stage. There is also going to be a color affinity boost provided from Queen, which is really good. And then the support of Jack triggers when we use the Queen special, which removes 1 turn of paralysis, which means it's going to transform all the character slots into matching, gets around the paralysis slots, which is really great. Now, Shanks, 10th anniversary Shanks is on the crew because his special ability will give us a chain boundary because we already have a color affinity special, but the main importance of it is because his special ability will not only remove 3 turns of barrier, which is really good, but after level 30, it's actually 4 turns of barrier, which is really frustrating to get around. If you have the new legend Stussy, that's really good for this fight because she removes, I think it's 5 turns of barrier or something like that. But Shanks gives us a full board of Psy slots, which is the barrier that we have to get through. So Shanks is really good for that. Alternatively, you could just have Shanks plus another barrier removal unit if you don't have Stussy. So there's a couple different ways you can go about it. So this will give us attack and all boost via Uta. We'll have color affinity from Queen. We're going to have chain boundary from Shanks. And then the last spot really can just be like whatever you want. The ship is also not important for this fight. And of course, as we said, we're going to use Shaka as our friend captain to get additional bonus from him. He's also super effective against all types, and he does give us additional tickets to help with the KIZUNA exchange. Moving on to our secondary fight versus Dex. So with this one, you kind of want to be building with strength units, but there's not a lot of good strength Cerebral units that kind of get around a lot of the gimmicks in this event. So we only have 2 strength units on this team with Kobe and Vegapunk, and of course the friend captain Shaka will be super effective against all types, which does help out a little bit. Moving on to stage 2 though, stage 2 has 6 turns of paralysis, 6 turns of defense up, which is why we have this Shinobu character. This Shinobu is really strong because it does remove both the paralysis and the defense up by 6 turns, so that's a really, really nice to have. We're using Uta once again because having attack and all boost on multiple different stages is really useful, so that's the key reason why Uta is here once again. You don't have to use Uta if you don't want to, but having that additional damage for multiple stages definitely helps. And then when we move into the final boss stage, we're going to have the Vegapunk character, because after level 30, there's going to be 1 turn of special reverse and 6 turns of paralysis on stage 3. So Vegapunk deals with all of those things. There's also going to be 7 turns of damage threshold, which is why I decided to use Kobe. Kobe does remove 7 turns of damage threshold. He changes all slots into tandem, and he does give us a color affinity boost, all really good effects. And then with the reason why I chose Lilith as the captain is because Lilith's special can work really well with Uta, making the attack boost that Uta gives us a stackable attack boost, and then we can use the super class of Vegapunk of Lilith, which will give us an attack boost again, so like we can have 2 different attack boosts. But more importantly, it gives a full board of int slots. Now, we do have the friend captain of what's his face, Shaka, which gives a full board of psi slots. He treats them as beneficial to the crew as well. So with that, it's going to we can use that as well to make sure we have matching slots, because there is going to be a slot attack down. Basically, if you have strength, recovery, tandem, or rainbow slots in this stage, you're going to do less damage. And the thing is if you activate a special ability that changes your slots around, the enemy will interrupt it and then give you block slots once again. So having Lilith or having Shaka being able to change your slots via a super type or a super class enables you to get around that interrupt altogether. So that's the team that we have here. This one is the one that I don't feel super confident in. I think it's going to get the job done, and I think I'll try it in the initial stages of the KIZUNA clash, but definitely not super confident in the team comp. And then we get to the final boss, which is versus the quick variation. I felt this one was actually pretty straightforward, all things considered. So once again, Shaka friend captain, we have Vegapunk sub, which triggers the super type of Shaka, and then with Crocodile as our main captain, having VV on the squad allows his super class to be triggered as well. So when we reach stage number 2, when we activate the special or the super class of Crocodile, it's going to change all the slots that we're given into matching, which is really good. And then we activate the special ability of Crocodile, which will give us an attack boost. It's going to give us chain boundary, and we can get through that stage just with Crocodile's special abilities alone, which is really good. When we move into the final stage, we're going to have the Vegapunk once again, because he does have fear resistance. All of your crewmates are inflicted with fear. So Vegapunk gets around that, and then he does have the ability to resist the special reverse. He gets around 6 turns of paralysis, and then the ship that we have here, which is the whale shark ship with at level 12, and then you see with at least 1 modification removes 1 turn of paralysis. So Vegapunk plus the ship gets around all the paralysis after level 30 on the quick variation. There's also 6 turns of blue shield, 2 turns of rainbow shield, and VV gives color affinity boost and removes all turns of blue and rainbow shield on the opponent's side of the field. The only other thing that we have to get around is he makes dex, quick, and int slots not matching for our crew when we reach the final stage. But with Shaka as our friend captain, using his super class / super type special, gives a full board of psi slots. He treats him as beneficial as a captain, and then we can get around that. So it actually works out pretty goddamn well. We got color affinity with VV. We're going to have chain boundary. We're going to have the chain buffs from Shaka. We're going to have whatever buffs that Vegapunk can give us. He can give us attack boost or boost, whatever it may be. So there's 2 free slots to basically put whatever you want. So this one felt very comfortable. These characters all synergize really well and get around all the gimmicks pretty comfortably. It's just more about like whatever you want to do to kind of fill the slots on this team. But yeah, this one felt really, really good, and I don't think that this is going to have any issues in getting through this quick variation at all. So that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.